When you open PowerPoint, you get a blank presentation typically. I have it opened here. I'm doing the exercise on page 979. First thing we want to do is to apply the facet theme. I go on Design, and it shows the themes here. It's typically alphabetical. I could go here. Facet. And we're going to save the file. Add a place, or we could go into this PC. Typically, we would go into Documents, which it shows there, and it says to, I'll just call this Stress. And we're going to be doing headers and footers here. I go onto the Insert tab, click up here, and I want to do headers and footers. Right over here. You go into Notes and Handouts, and I want to select the date and time. Check that off. And Update automatically is selected. I go into the header checkbox, and I check that off. I type in my name, and I go into the footer checkbox. They want you to type in teacher name, and you say apply to all. And next thing we're going to do, we're going to click in the title placeholder. This is called a placeholder here, and we type in managing your stress. Go into the bottom box or control enter. Now I want to do a new slide here, and next thing I'm going to do, I go on the home tab here. I click on the drop down arrow here for new slide, and it wants us to use a section header layout. Each style or theme has a different type there. Section header layout. And for the title here, don't underestimate the value of doing nothing, of just going along. We type all this text in here, and hopefully I typed everything right. And that is done. That was step F. We're going to go into the next thing here. We're going to add another slide. As you can see, we have two slides here. I'm going to click the new slide arrow here, and it wants us to create a new slide called title and content. That's the bulleted. That is the most popular slide here. And we're going to type in the title here. Keep a good. And in the bottom here, we're going to be putting in some text here. I'm in step letter G. So we got that done. I want to do another new slide, and it'll be the fourth slide. I always keep saving my work as I go along. And if you want to do a keyboard shortcut to keep what you've done before, it repeats the slide here, is Control and the letter M should work in many cases. Or just click right up here. It repeats it. So we're going to just type in a few more things. Eat healthy. As you can see, I got that red underline here. I could right click. Oops, it said readables. Uh-oh. Be careful when you choose the things here, okay? And switch to whole grain bread. Food, was. I'm just abbreviating. Drink plenty of water. Take a daily multivitamin. Now, what it is here, you can put in notes on the bottom of a slide. If you go down here, do you see what it says notes here? I could drag this up, and it's going to have some rather lengthy text here. I'm just going to type in here, eat colorful fruits and vegetables. I'll just leave a couple of dots here. And it goes on and on here. What it is, it shows up in the notes when you're doing the presentation. And I'm going to do another new slide. And got that there. I'm going to type the title here. Deep breathing. Go down to here. And then I will say lie on your back with a pillow under your head, and I'll just say etc., etc. Okay, that's in the book there. That's letter J, and then in the notes pane, we're going to say practice deep breathing. I'll just do that ellipsis after here, and then what we're going to do here, we're going to go to step letter K. I'm going to click on new slide. And what they want you to do here is to content layout. And what you're going to do here, exercise in the title placeholder. That's called, and in the left side here, we type in do activities you love, bike to campus, take a class. And if I want to indent, I hit the tab key. You could do it that way too. Or you could click on this thing here, increase indent here. Like if this was to be back here, I click here, but that's supposed to be indented. Yoga or Pilates, fencing, soccer. Now, what you're going to do here, we're going to do a search for pictures here. We go into here, and I want to find online pictures. You got a little thing here. I click in here. It's going to do a Bing search, and we're going to type in Latin dancing. Hit the enter key, and you select a picture. Click on that. Insert. What you get in here is this panel here where you can change the layouts in different ways. I'm just going to keep it the way I have it here. So that is done. Going to review a couple of things here. We're coming along here. We're going to add a new slide. I click inside the new slide arrow here. If I click on this thing above here, right here, it gives me that slide that I put in. I'm going to hit the undo. I'm going to click on the new slide here, and I'm going to say title and content. I'm on step letter O here. Now we click in the title placeholder, we don't want it. You just click on the round here, and then what we're going to do, we want to put a table in here. When you hover your mouse, it gets a little darker. Insert table. And what they want to do is 2 columns and 7 rows. 2, 7. You could use the arrows. Say OK. And I made a mistake. I put in 72 or something like that. Insert table. It's 2, 7. Much better here. And I'm going to put in the captions here. Do this, not this. And I could use the tab key to move around here. And I'm just going to leave that other text here. You could do that on your own. Now, in the notes here, they want you to put notes here. And I could just say, use healthy activities. Again, we continue typing this in. Now, I want to add a new slide. I'm in letter R, called Section Header Layout. So I go on the Home tab, new slide, Section Header Layout. Got to read these carefully when you get these instructions here. If you're doing something on your own, you would figure out the best way to do this. And we're going to type in this sentence here. If you ask what is the single most important key to longevity, I would have to say it is avoiding worry, stress, and tension. And if you didn't ask me, I'd still have to say it. George Burns. So we've got that in here. Now, what you're going to do here, we're going to go into slide 3. It says they're not empowered. It said needs to be changed. It says instead of reacting, you just change the sentence here. And the best way to do that is just to act instead of reacting. Delete that text there. And then on the third bullet where it says be thankful, we're going to use the thesaurus. I'm going to click on the word. I go onto the review tab. I go into thesaurus. It shows other words that you can use. I want to change it to grateful. I hover here. I get that arrow here. I say insert. So I have that showing there. What we're going to do here, we're going to make it look a little nicer. We're doing a presentation. We can do transitions on here. You see transitions here? This means it has a little bit of a flow when you're going here. So what I'm going to do, you have a gallery here. We click on push, and that is how it goes. But we want that to apply to all the slides. When we do this, we click on apply to all. Now I want to go on to the View tab. I'm in step letter V. I want to go into slide sorter. It shows the slides. I can close this out now. What we want to do here, I want to drag slide 8, the George Burns quote, and I click on here, and I want to make it to slide 2. I just click here, drag it up to here, and then slide 3, the Pooh quote, drag it to here. Then I want to go back here. I want to show a couple little things here. If I double click here, it shows the slides. You could also click and drag like this. Most people do it that way. Next thing here, you know how to print. You go to File, Print here. I want to talk about the presentation and different ways of printing, not in this outline here that you're working on. You can go to review to do spell check. You're going to save it, and you can give it different names if you need to, if you're presenting to different groups. When I have the notes down here, if I go into the slideshow, this is what we have. I'm just going through this very quickly here. If you're doing the presentation here, you've got this thing here. You've got the notes pages here. What it shows here, this is the master here. I didn't mean to do that one. I'm just going to go into here. Actually, I am okay. It's showing it here. I'm going up to the beginning. This shows notes here. It just says click to add text here. I go to another slide here. See how I have those notes there? They don't appear in the slideshow. And can you edit this here? Don't eat a lot of cookies, but I'm just showing that to you. But if I go back into here to normal, eat lots of cookies. So that is the basics with setting up a PowerPoint.